You are supposed to protect the people, not rule them. The time of guardians as shepherds of humanity is over.
No!
I've been waiting so long for this. Dredge and hope.
They've shown me a vision I can't shake. New Cabal, the Barrent Imperium, sprung up out of nowhere across the system. That doesn't just happen. It's the Nine, and I'm putting together a crew to prove it. What do you say, Weapon?
Welcome to the new Mars. Now the only law on Tharsis is the gun on your hip and the light in your hands. You'll do well here. I don't relish doing business with these leeches. But we need to find out what the Dredgen are after.
You crave justice. Why die for a criminal?
Why do you hate your own kind so much? It's time to take the fight to the Imperium.
Finish it. And the Imperium is yours to lead. You will fall. But next time, we meet.
Only one play left.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Bungie, or our Cantina today. We have converted our stream room in celebration of our upcoming release, Destiny 2 Renegades, collaborative effort with Lucasfilm Games. We are so excited. My name is Dylan. I'm going to be your host today, and we have a lot to go through. Have a few housekeeping notes before we dive in. Ultimately, if you are on Twitch, if you watch for 15 minutes, we have a fantastic emblem for you to earn, Seekers, Not Saints. Make sure your Bungie.net account is linked, and you will earn this reward. Additionally, our community team, hey community team, love you. They're going to be going through chat throughout this stream and after we raid Leopard Stealth, one of our good friends. We have 25 Year of Prophecy digital editions to be handing out. So make sure your DMs are open. Keep an eye out for a DM from Bungie. And yeah, you might get yourself a code for a platinum platform that we offer. So what are we talking about here today? We just had our launch trailer. Destiny 2 Renegades is launching in 7 days. Countdown right now. 7 days from now, you're going to be in there playing. We got blasters. We got the Praxic Blade. We have a new ViDoc that actually we are sharing today. And this is going to be called Making of a Renegade. So after we watch our ViDoc, we have a panel of developers on the couch. We're going to be talking about the Lawless Frontier, our new activity that is coming with this experience, full of loot, full of fun experiences, and all that kind of stuff. So without further ado, let's watch a new ViDoc, ViDoc 2, Making of a Renegade. Take it away.
This is Destiny with the Star Wars lens, like this really cool combination that hasn't been done before.
I can't wait to take a Praxic Blade to Mars.
Don't be a ridiculous fan. Just stay cool.
Wait, we gotta squat it up and play through. Oh, yeah.
This is why we got into games in the first place. Early on, we developed this North Star, authentically Destiny, unmistakably Star Wars. It has to be something that feels like a Destiny story. It can't feel like a one-off. This can't feel like a side quest, right? Like this has to be a continuation of the Fate saga.
I had this vision. I knew it came from the Nine.
but with Star Wars beats and Star Wars visuals.
This was uncharted territory for Lucasfilm Games, and that this is the first time we're telling a story inspired by Star Wars within a different universe.
At the heart of, like, I think every Guardian's identity is like this healthy, independent, rebellious streak.
We were excited to actually explore that scoundrel fantasy, bounty hunters, the syndicates going out and doing jobs with a ragtag team. We took inspiration from Star Wars to ensure the scale, visual language, soundtrack, and cinematic storytelling in Renegades delivered on everything fans will have come to expect from the franchise.
The Praxic Blade collaboration stands out to me.
Because lightsabers are so iconic, it was absolutely critical to get that balance right.
The team at Lucasfilm Games was just so solutions focused. It wasn't, no, it has to be this way. It was a lot of back and forth and asking questions about how would this work? Well, let's talk about it. All right, oh, so we need a different energy source. Okay, what would that look like?
It was all about, like, what is best for the player.
When we announced this collaboration with the studio, James may or may not have been wearing a fighter pilot helmet.
Yeah. Destiny and Star Wars shared that same beating heart. I was like, oh, this is gonna be special.
We were given such a unique challenge. How can we achieve the aesthetic and the feel of Star Wars without losing the narrative threads that we've created so far for Destiny at the same time?
It wasn't until we found our footing with creating a foundation in Destiny that things started to click together.
I remember the first time that we went down to San Francisco. We had this really big meeting where it was the Destiny narrative folks on one side and the Star Wars narrative folks on the other side. We broke the ice by just asking, what's the bad version of this? We had a really good laugh over what that looked like. And through that, we kind of uncovered that this should be the aesthetic, the vibe of Star Wars with the truth to Destiny's narrative that we knew needed to be there too. We begin 2 months after the Edge of Fate has happened. The world has moved and changed, and we're still trying to figure out what Binding the Nine means.
The Vanguard have redacted the prophecy of extinction.
They don't want the public to panic over this prophecy.
The crux of our story is the Drifter asking us to help him break Vanguard law for good reason to confront a new rising faction of Cabal called the Barren Imperium. It's what drives Eris to help the Drifter out, as well as the player Guardian.
When we were thinking about what kinds of characters should be in this release, we thought about the kinds of archetypes we see throughout Star Wars.
Yeah, and Drifter is an easy parallel. He and Han Solo share a cocky attitude, both former criminals.
In Star Wars, there's a plethora of sassy droids. We have our own version of that through Ghosts, and Blue is no exception.
Oh, look. Thanks for nothing.
Blue is a Drifter's ghost, and I think as soon as people hear her, they'll be delighted and incredibly surprised.
Our voice cast is stacked. Dredgen Bale is portrayed by Alex Lee, who is amazing.
You are supposed to protect the people, not rule them.
And we also got Hollywood actual royalty Danny Houston to play Premier Loom, the head of the Barren Imperium. Being able to work with someone from that kind of IMDb page was such an honor, and I was completely normal the whole time.
Surrender to the Barren Imperium.
Loom became this sweeping militaristic figure that I think is going to be a really good parallel to Grand Moff Tarkin or other evil military leaders from the Empire.
So even though we're introducing new characters, we're still looking backwards at some of Destiny lore's most long-standing characters. Honor is another example of that. She's our Praxic warlock.
She's loosely meant to be a parallel to something like a Jedi in Star Wars. She was part of a Vanguard internal affairs group that would police Guardians on the usage of darkness.
Don't make me regret abandoning my post to help you.
Not now, Honor.
Yeah, she has to grow up with the times a little bit because the world has changed and a whole lot of people are using darkness now. And she gets to grow and kind of ask herself, like, am I still adhering to my own values if I allow myself to be open to these kinds of ideas?
The Drifter belongs with us!
The Drifter left your cult long ago.
And then there's Bale. Dredge and Bale.
Dredgen is a dark guardian that represents absolute darkness.
Dredge and Bale doesn't like the fact that we're ruled by a city of immortals who can't step down and that weren't elected. He's got kind of a point, but his methods for addressing that point suck. He makes many bad choices. One of my favorite parts about a lot of villains in Star Wars is that they have just like the capability of making a right choice and then consistently do not make good choices.
Bale is trying to fill a hole in his life in all the wrong ways.
And he just can't, and he never will. But man, we're gonna hope that he does someday.
The time of guardians as shepherds of humanity is over.
This has been an opportunity where you love Destiny, you love Star Wars, you want to do something with both. What are you going to put into it?
Oh my God, it was such a challenge at first, finding that sweet spot of how do we make something that can live in both worlds and not feel out of place in either, but also feel totally new and exciting. It wasn't always about where do we find the exact middle ground, 50-50 Star Wars and Destiny, because at that point, you're feeling almost a little derivative.
There's those moments along the way when we were like, this is just Star Wars. This is not the purpose of the collaboration. We want to have something kind of new that makes you think of both. I remember when we were trying to figure out what we're going to do with our new Cabal.
We started in that place where it's just Cabal wearing a stormtrooper outfit.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until we injected more of that weird alien design of a lot of these armor sets, that was kind of what switched it over from this is too derivative to this is really working. I think it comes through in the visuals in every single map. There are little Easter eggs and little treats here and there that we hit around, and Lucasfilm Games has been awesome at collaborating with us and even putting some of their input onto our maps so we can really give the players something exciting.
The switch flipped in my head like, oh, we would never have done this without this collaboration was the Syndicates.
Yeah.
We're going places with the Vex and the Elixni and the Cabal that we really weren't going to go before.
Oh yeah, and trench coats.
And trench coats, yeah. We have Vex in trench coats that are playing cards. It's so awesome, and I don't think we would have dared do that if we didn't have this opportunity.
No, and it was the perfect time in our universe to do it too. The Star Wars fans on the team just start coming out, telling their stories about what they're excited to build, and far be it from me to get in the way.
We make a lot of weapons in Destiny. How do you take a weapon in Destiny, which we have literal like 4 digits of guns, and
understatement,
right? And make something that feels new, but also does justice for Star Wars. And Blaster was really obviously the choice. They're roughly in 2 groups. There's dynamic blasters, which are intended to be harder hitting, firing a ton. Brute force. And then we have a number of balance blasters. As you're shooting, and the heat is building up, you're going to have a venting opportunity where you can hit a perfect vent. It's like functionally a reload, so you can start shooting again much faster.
Sweet. I gotta ask though, what about those Cabal blasters? Are they accurate?
What difficulty are you playing on? We have swords in Destiny, but we don't have a Praxic sword. We don't have a lightsaber approximate. It's an exotic primary weapon that's kinetic, where you can reflect a bunch of blasts, kill enemies with it, and throw it out and get a ton of damage. Having the sandbox be able to explore this new like ability ecosystem with renegade abilities. We've taken so much of this opportunity and turned it into what we can like grow.
Every corner of the game, from the art, the design, the audio, the music, the UI, the rewards, completely infused with the magic of the collaboration. It's really been a real treat to be a part of.
Yeah, super satisfying.
Good morning, everybody. Didn't mean to wake you up with that beat, sorry. The overarching theme for this was to create a score for this release that felt like it was cohesive as a whole. We're all talking to each other and collaborating with each other. We were able to explore different ways of orchestrating, different ways of writing with the orchestra that expand on the Destiny palette and make it fresh and new. When I look at the Star Wars scores, there were certain elements that naturally fit string flourishes or wood flourishes that would play into a certain moment. When it's like, oh, I know I want something to feel more Williams, so I'll push it, not this Williams, the John Williams, I'll push it more in that world.
Another thing too is the amount of percussion. I had some ideas that felt more full-on Star Wars, and once you like flesh out the percussion arrangement, it instantly sounds more Destiny as a result.
For me, a lot of it was about framing, where when I use a lot of the Destiny themes, how I set them up and how I'm transitioning in and out of moments are much more Star Wars-y in terms of the harmony and orchestration.
I think the most exciting part about this was the opportunity to work with these guys and Mike.
You definitely made it a point to kind of bring us together and listen to each other's music.
But Brendan, you wrote something with the most beautiful oboe solo in it, and it drives me nuts that I didn't think of it first.
No one wanted to follow Brendan is what it came down to. Brendan's cues just sound amazing from the start.
I remember, Nolan, your first high action cue. Everyone was like, oh, whoa. Because it's really fast, really intense. Josh kept on like spinning around and looking at you.
Humans have to play this. Jeez.
Destiny has like so many themes, and that's like a great vehicle for doing the Star Wars spin.
Our first meeting was discussing that main theme, and I remember hearing it for the first time. And everybody kind of perked up when we all heard it. We're all having ideas that were just a little bit different from one another. It was all sort of impacted what the final version of the theme was.
Dredge and Bale. That kind of teed off the main theme, and the fact that we were exploring the idea of this kind of anti-Guardian character set in this story of scoundrels. We wanted something that would be a backbone to tell a longer arc story. It has a layer of ominousness to it, it has a layer of mystery to it, but it can be turned other ways.
I felt a sense of menace.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to get to experience it with players.
Just really hope that, personally, I've written something that they can really connect with and love, and if I can cause a couple of goosebumps in there, I'll take that as a bonus too.
I hope players get taken on a journey that inspires them and makes them feel like this world is really unique and really special.
My favorite feeling as a creator is getting to watch someone's look of like absolute surprise.
I want players to feel hope, that exciting, boundless potential that Destiny has, and world of possibility that Star Wars unlocked.
I've been waiting so long for this.
All right, welcome back to the Cantina. So what you just saw was our second ViDoc, Making of a Renegade, or What It Takes to Make a Renegade. This is our moment to really peel back the curtain and show you how games are made. It's a monumental effort, and what you saw, it was a mix of our narrative design, audio, our collaboration efforts with Lucasfilm Games. Many thanks to everyone involved. Also, a few folks that weren't pictured there, ranging from design, production, test. Even a shout out, I got to give it to IT for keeping our computers running, and our services folks too for keeping our servers running. So today we're going to be talking about the Lawless Frontier. This is our new activity coming with Destiny 2 Renegades, and we have 3 developers on our couch to talk us through what we're seeing. It'll be a fun deep dive. So without further ado, let's get some introductions. Eric Smith, we're starting with you.
DMG, Damage 04. Yes, my name is Eric Smith. I am a combat design lead on Destiny 2. You may know me from my work where I was the design lead on the Strand subclasses. I started kind of making the stasis abilities, and most recently the Renegades ability buffs.
Awesome. Yeah, next up, Tom Farnsworth. This is the first time that you and I are in a stream together, but a quick introduction for folks that may not have seen you in previous ViDocs.
Yeah, so I'm Tom, the creative lead for Renegades, and I've been at Bungie for like, I don't know, I can't even remember, like 13, 14 years. Worked on Destiny 1, Destiny 2. The highlights were probably like Dreaming City, Season of the Splicer, 30th and Into the Light were the most recent things I worked on leading in this, but this has been an absolute blast to work on.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for joining us today. And last but not least, our grid skipper aficionado, Taylor Bjorndal. How you doing?
Great. Yeah, Taylor Bjorndal, associate weapons designer, here to talk about all the rewards and blasters and the practice played and all the other stuff we made for you to chase.
Awesome. Yeah, so just for folks, if you end up missing anything, if we go a little bit fast, we got a lot to pack through. We'll have a VOD on Twitch and YouTube after this. And if you missed our ViDoc or the launch trailer, those will be uploaded as well. So what we're seeing on screen right now, we're launching into our Lawless Frontier activity. Tom, I would love to put the spotlight on you. Let's give a quick description. What is the Lawless Frontier?
So the Lawless Frontier is our core game mode in Renegades. You're going to play through some of the campaign, but it's really what comprises our end game. And the idea is that you're a renegade, you're taking on these shady jobs like bounty hunting, smuggling, and sabotage from our syndicates, and you're doing so to increase your notoriety, your power, and your riches, and of course to get some sweet loot.
Yeah, and when you talk about bounty hunting, sabotaging, that kind of stuff, those are different types of this activity, right?
Yeah, their bounty hunting is all about taking out a key syndicate boss. Sabotage is about blowing the heck out of everything with your renegade abilities, dropping airstrikes on Cabal vehicles, and smuggling is about grabbing everything that isn't tied down.
Yeah. In true fashion, when you're going into a dangerous spot, you got to just grab whatever you can find, right?
Yep.
So today we're going to be focusing on a bounty hunt, and I believe you said this is kind of like a quintessential Destiny vibe of an activity, right?
Yeah, it's probably the closest to a traditional Destiny activity, but you're going to start in the ready room, which is kind of a unique experience, and you're going to be able to pick your renegade abilities in there from your little shank buddy that's in there. You'll hop aboard Hawk, and you'll drop down to the destination. You can see we're already in on one of the Mars maps that we have. There are all these jobs take place across Mars, Venus, and Europa, and there's 2 maps on each destination. This is Hellas Fortitude, and right now we're doing a bounty hunt, and we're working to draw out the intel officers to track down where our target is. After this, there'll be resurgence of the security forces of that target. They'll have a classic boss fight, but with a bunch of wrinkles thrown in for gameplay here of things, hazards that are at play, your abilities, maybe an invader, which we'll talk about later, and then you'll exfil with your bounty and get some loot and take that back to our social space, Tharsis Junction, where you'll be able to spend your currencies to buy some of the cool blasters, or maybe some of the cosmetics and customizations for the practice blade we're going to talk about later.
Awesome. Yeah, and I mean, so as we're going through this, we're going to be seeing a lot of abilities that players know and love on screen, but we have new abilities, renegade abilities, that are going to be for this activity. And Eric, you're going to be our person of knowledge here.
Yeah.
What do we got on screen?
Yeah, so Renegade Abilities is a new ability system we have in Renegades. What you do is we have a brand new button for you to press. That's going to be R3 on the controller and then Z on the keyboard. And that's going to kind of switch you into a different mode that gives you new abilities for your grenade and your melee. That sends out one of these tokens. we have here on the screen, you can see we have one called Revitalize that heals you and provides you with ability energy. And then we have the other one, which is the Deflector Shield, which is this zone I can sit inside and shoot out of, and it blocks all the incoming damage. It's also going to, for my allies who are inside the shield, it will amplify them and then jolt any enemies who pass through it. And all of these have 7 levels of upgrades. So when you first start, they will have certain functionality and certain strength, and as you upgrade them, they're going to get better and better. And they really change the gameplay, right? Like they're kind of these pocket supers almost, that as a hunter, I'm able to be like, I'm going to build support, right? I'm going to choose these 2 support renegade abilities and make sure my team has what they need to survive this tough environment. You can also see in this mode we have non-regenerating health. So things like that Revitalize renegade ability are really going to come in handy to be like, we need to take a break and heal. Let's pop over here to some safety, and anyone can build into that if that's what they want. You know, we have things like vehicles that you can pull in or you can call down from your ship. So that's one thing. There's so much to talk about.
Yeah, well, before we get to the ship, actually, let's talk a little bit more about the health mechanics in here. Because we had this in some previous activities like Nether, and we got a ton of great feedback on like how much you get back, how you get it back, and I've seen already in this activity, as you're going through, there are some pots, there's some ways that you can get it, there are the Renegades abilities, but Tom, if you want to talk a little bit more about it.
We took Nether as a base, but I'd say this is a little bit more forgiving. The way that health works is, yeah, you've got a large pool of health. It does not regenerate at the top level, but if you get down to 0, it will regenerate to the base shield, so you don't suffer the red flashing screen. And you can either use a normal sandbox like a rift, a healing support weapon. You can crack open these pots that have those little healing orbs you can see on the screen to get some of your health back. Or you can use things like Revitalize and like build your Renegade abilities into kind of dealing with those kind of challenges we're putting in front of you. And one thing that I really like about this mode is like we've got, you know, Expert, Master, Grandmaster, and on Grandmaster you're really gonna need to use all these abilities that kind of like coordinate with your teammates and kind of build a loadout to kind of conquer the challenges we put in front of you.
Awesome. Yeah, so going back to, you had mentioned the ship when we're using our Renegade abilities. And I think earlier, outside of the Vex Dome, there was kind of like an airstrike that happened too, right?
Yeah, so we have a strafing run that you can upgrade, and your ship, so the one that you have customized and put your shader on, will fly through the arena and drop bombs in sequence, right? And as I upgrade this, it gets more and more devastating until it like is, you know, beyond any of the supers we have in the game. It's incredible. There's another one that is the Cabal drop pod, and what that does is, you know, if you're familiar with the Cabal drop pod, it is this giant metal ball that slams into the ground, and in this case, it is almost like a supply drop because it's full of ammo, and it's also going to squish anything under it, and it does incredible damage. Not only that, but it will damage you and your teammates, so you got to be really careful.
It will delete them.
Yeah, just delete them. You got to be careful where you drop this.
Offensive supply drop.
Yeah, but you can be the Cabal now. You can turn it around on them.
Yeah. So Bjorndal, we've had you kind of sitting quiet over there. I'd love to talk about the blasters that our players have been using. So
Absolutely.
In the ViDoc, we were talking about the balanced blaster and the dynamic blaster. Can you break down each, just a quick review of each, and then we can talk through some of the reload mechanics?
Yep, sure. So yeah, we have 2 sets of blasters, or 2 different kinds of blasters. The dynamics are like more aggressive, harder hitting, faster rate of fire. They can like generally punch above their weight class, but they're like a little bit harder to manage heat on. The balanced blasters is more like a rain of bullets. Like I'm just gonna unload on a big pack of stuff and like really have like a deep mag.
Cool. And what you can see on screen right here, these are going to be all the blasters that you can get from running our Lawless Frontier activity, and then we'll actually have a slate of blasters that you can earn through the dungeon, which we'll talk a little bit about later. But yeah, when it came to really balancing blasters and bringing them into Destiny as a new kind of weapon type, I would love to hear what were the challenges, what was some of the fun in developing those things with the team?
Absolutely, yeah. So like one of the things that was in the ViDoc was kind of finding the balance of like how much Star Wars versus how much Destiny we wanted on these things, and it was a collaborative effort with basically everybody on the team. These were Mercule's project for most of this release. but it was like a big effort on design, test, animation, audio to really sell the experience of using these and to make them look and feel the part for like what people would expect from both the Destiny gun and the Star Wars blaster.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, since we're on the topic of loot and gear, our Guardian right now is using the new Praxic blade and also getting smashed by a Cabal drop pod. But I'd love to hear about the customization that y'all developed for this. And this can be Tom and Bjorn talk to it, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, so you're going to get the Praxic blade by collaborating with Honor throughout the campaign. She's going to like deem you worthy of earning it. You'll go on a cool little quest that I don't want to spoil to earn one for yourself. And then post-campaign, you're going to unlock the ability to customize it. You're going to be able to change out your dark matter crystals and change the color of the blade to match your personality. And you're going to be able to change a bunch of different mods and gameplay elements, right?
Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of different things you can kind of swap to fit your playstyle on this, where we have forms, cores, mods, and 4 different catalysts on it. And the forms kind of change like how you can get ammo back and give you some damage bonuses based off of different gameplay styles. And the cores let you apply subclass verbs to a different part of what the weapon does, depending on something that matches your subclass. So like you can add sever to like the saber throw, or something else like weaken or jolting.
Yeah, it creates these really cool combos where I am strike, I'm throwing to debuff enemies and then getting it back and striking again.
Yeah, and during a couple of our trial runs with this, you were talking about there are some animations and different combos in your melee structure, right?
Yeah. So there's like a 3 or 4 hit combo you can do where you will end it with like a big spinny move that's like very thematic, almost kind of like how the Arc Staff has like the little hidden combo there.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
I did want to call out, we also saw the Renegade ability, the turret that we have. It is called the Piker Mortar, and it is like the strongest turret we've ever built. Like it is, it has crazy range, crazy damage, and is a really nice, I'm going to throw this thing out to manage this part of the map. Yeah, while I deal with other stuff.
Perfect. Yeah, and, so as we're coming to the end of this activity, I'd love to just know kind of some of the narrative dressing. So as you're going into the Lawless Frontier, it's our activity, but also kind of like the feel of this experience. And there's a turf war going on. I know Robbie in a previous stream we were talking about the turf war a bit, but Tom, if you could expand on that and how that sets up this activity.
Sure. So in the end game, the syndicates are in this kind of ongoing turf war across Mars, Venus, and Europa, and you can kind of take advantage of that by taking on their contracts that they offer and kind of winning out the day for them. But in doing so, you can extract maximum power, profits, rewards from them, and you can take anything you earn through engaging in these jobs and completing these priority contracts they offer. You can go back to the social space. You can they each have their own reward track, like the Pikers, the Tharsis Reformation. They offer weapons to unlock, new abilities, upgrades for those abilities. Some elements or mods for the Praxic blade, and a whole bunch of other things like some shaders too. So you can kind of like rep your favorite syndicate on your armor, which is pretty cool. It's definitely with the Lawless Frontier, it's one of the most cohesive and deepest modes we've ever built. Like everything from this mode ties into the holo map, into the different mini game modes within it, into the social space. So like it's going to be exciting to see players kind of peel back all the layers and maybe get into some the darker corners like Invasion.
Yeah, and I mean, so we've progressed. We've defeated the boss that we were hunting down for our bounty hunt. And this portion of the activity is kind of emblematic of we're in a Lawless Frontier that's dangerous. Even after you've finished your objective, now it looks like you got to fight your way out.
Yeah, so every job in the Lawless Frontier, in this case bounty hunt, like it escalates over time. So it gets harder the longer you're there. So there's real pressure to get in, do your objective, and get out. Just so like right now we're in the exfil. This is the final moments of the activity. You send up a flare, you call your ship in. The Cabal are pouring down on you here. You're throwing out your renegade abilities, and you're just trying to survive until your ship gets there. In this case, each of the 3 jobs, bounty hunt, smuggle, and sabotage, have their own unique mechanic. So for Bounty Hunt, you have to take out these 3 mini bosses, which we call retaliators here.
Yeah, so as our fire team is fighting their way out, we actually do have a preview of a fun exotic that's coming with the reward pass in Destiny 2 Renegades. I believe we have a preview that we can share. But Bjorndal, if you could give a quick overview of our exotic machine gun.
Yeah, so this is the Service of Luzaku. It's a very unique machine gun. It's almost like a necromancer, broodweaver theme, where you turn your enemies into these little nests of threadlings that you can like shoot and then spawn more and like build it up to control like a space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and threadlings just got a buff, correct?
Threadlings did get a buff. They're smarter than they were before.
Yeah, and to segue more appropriately, over the last few weeks we've been doing a series of blog articles with y'all on the Sandbox team talking about the core game updates coming to Destiny 2 available to all players. So we have a lot of quality of life changes that are coming to your supers, your subclass abilities, all that kind of stuff that we just previewed yesterday. Mm-hmm. One of which, Warlock focused, was around threadlings, your strand abilities. Yeah, if you want to cover that really quick.
Yeah, so you can see here the Warlock is moving while rifting, which is a huge kind of quality of life upgrade that allows you to dodge attacks, get into cover, close the gap while you're casting your ability. Works really well with the new Warlock exotic as well. So there are, if you haven't seen that article we put out yesterday, please check it out. There's a lot of great buffs. We've shown hunters a lot of love. We love our hunters. We want them to feel powerful.
Yeah, we saw some feedback with the exotic tuning article. Hunters were like, wait, I want to see more, which in the future we will definitely have more. But in the abilities preview.
Talk about the future, but we can't. But because there's a lot of exciting hunter stuff that we are working on.
So with the abilities updates for hunters, Golden Gun got a pass?
Yeah, so Golden Gun got a pass, does more damage, and now scorches on impact. We fixed an issue where you had to step outside of your well to get full damage. Now you can stay in the well. Outside of that, we saw in the gameplay Gunpowder Gamble. If you throw it and you shoot it before it explodes naturally, it does more damage, more radius, and also spits out little kind of seeker projectiles.
Yeah, and as we're getting our loot, we need to cover the Titan changes for
Sentinel.
Sorry?
Sentinel.
Yeah,
yeah, Sentinel Shield. We're excited about this one. So Sentinel Shield is getting a shift a little bit.
A bit of a rework, right?
Yeah, a bit of a rework. The usage rates weren't great, and we want to provide something that is kind of on par with Well, as far as like, what am I going to take into a raid to support my team? So in Renegades, your Sentinel Shield, as you're holding it up, your allies behind your shield are going to auto reload, and there's just kind of rhythm to it. So if you can fire at the right time, you can just be like rocket, rocket, rocket. So like the actual like damage increase is big. Mm-hmm. Not only that, but as I guard my enemies and the shield takes damage, I'm charging this bar up that charges up my shield throw. And at full charge, that shield throw is going to do Thunder Crash level damage, which, depending on how players use it, maybe you even get 2 of those out of a single super. Like it's strong. And that's what we want, right? We want to provide that power fantasy to players. I think this era of Destiny is like fun first.
Yeah.
We want players to have a great time and feel overpowered.
I'm going to hold you to it. Yeah, I honestly can't wait. But so we finished our activity, our first run of the Lawless Frontier. Now we're going to go into another. And Tom, you had mentioned invasions earlier in the stream. Yeah. And this is going to be our opportunity to show a little bit of that flavor. We're going to look at some of the UI in the orbit screens and our new holo map. And then we're going to show what it is to be invaded, new optional activity type as well, right?
Yeah. So in Invasion, like you might be familiar with Gambit. This is kind of like a new take on that kind of familiar mechanic here in Renegades. And we want players that kind of take on the role of a bounty hunter working for the syndicates, tracking down these renegades that are messing up their their operations, taking out their commanders, stealing their stuff. And so you get to be kind of play on the other side here. You get to play on the opposition. So you're allied with all of the enemy combatants on the field. You can kind of wade in amongst them and pick and choose the strategic moment where you want to kind of like lash out at these players and like steal their bounty.
Yeah.
And
so how do you launch into this?
so here's the holomap, just for everybody. This is kind of our standard interface for the Lawless Frontier. This is how you access the social space, all of our jobs, and then in the end game we unlock the yellow node, which is invasion, and the red node, which is the contested territory. So we can take a look at the contested node here. This is where all like every day the syndicates are fighting over one of the maps on each of the planets, and you can kind of, as a defender, kind of throw in your pledge to the side you want to fight for. But these are also invadable nodes. So one thing I want to highlight is that invasion is opt-in. It's not a requirement. So if players don't want to deal with PvP, they can do like an expert difficulty for this, or they can just go to any of these other nodes on the map here that aren't invadable. But for the priority, the contested node on the highest difficulties, like that's where the highest rewards are. That's where the invasion is. Now, on the other side, if you're an invader, you don't need to worry about the nodes. You can just go to the invasion node. You need to have some death marks, which are a currency you earn by playing by just playing Lawless Frontier. You'll just accumulate them. And one interesting wrinkle here is you can actually wager those for additional rewards. So if we go to the little pane here on the side, there's these things. There's the death marks. You can interact with them two or three times to double and triple your rewards, which obviously you're taking on some risk here. If you go do an invasion and it doesn't go your way, you could lose those tokens, but I think a lot of players are going to want to do this because they can just get triple rewards on each invasion, which is really exciting. And on the other side, for people being invaded, if you take the invader down, you're going to get more time on the clock. You're going to get some revives back, and every time you kill an invader, they have the chance to drop extractables, which are rewards you can dunk at the end of the activity to get bonus armor, weapons. Yeah.
Stellar. So let's get our invader launched in here. We'll go back to our gameplay team.
Yep.
But while we're loading in, let's talk about what is the actual approach to invasions. What are the objectives aside from seeking out guardians and destroying them?
Yeah. So as an invader, you're gonna start in the ready room, which we're gonna show in a minute here. You're gonna pick your loadout, like what's the right renegade abilities to bring in, and we've seen in playtest there's like a lot of different fun combos here. Like, are you gonna bring in the deflector shield, and then like the other team's gonna drop one, and then you're fighting on the Venn diagram of the deflector shields, or are you gonna just be a little more brute force and drop a behemoth and like kind of like, but try to be sneaky about it? And that's pretty hard to be sneaky in a giant walker, but you want to really pick those moments as the invader, because your goal here is to get 6 kills or 3 kills and 3 crests. Like, you've got 6 points you need to get. You've got about 5 minutes to do it. You've got 3 lives. You've got just enough time to really kind of like get in there, see where they are, kind of like rotate around, and then do a surgical strike, and then try to get them all in one go. And if you're lucky, you can do that, but you've got a few chances. And on the other side, they're going to know you're there. They're going to see that there's an invader on the field, but they're also trying to juggle the objectives that are on their side. And
they don't know when in the activity it's going to happen, right? So it could happen early on, it could happen later.
Yep.
But it only happens once per
Only
activity.
once.
Yeah, gotcha.
Cool. And then one of the fun dynamics here, too, is playing the waiting game. You can instill a little bit of anxiety in that team you're invading. So you don't have to hop in immediately and go guns blazing. You can wait until they're at a pivotal moment where they're like, where's this guy?
Yeah,
What's
wait
going to
until
happen?
they fight the boss.
It's been 3 minutes. Where are
Wait
they?
until someone breaks off to go find a chest.
Yeah. Oh, man. So in terms of balancing as well, are there any like extra abilities or things that invaders are going to have at their disposal, or is it just a match of the renegade abilities?
It's mostly renegade abilities, though. Invaders will have some amount of super, no heavy, and when they come in, we do highlight the PvE, the defender players, just so like they have a little bit of an idea where to go, and they can use that knowledge to kind of plan their initial attack.
Cool. Yeah, and it's been a bit of a balancing act as you've been going through this in the different cycles. In Gambit, like, we juice that invader because it's a 1v4. In this, because you have the chaos of the Lawless Frontier and all that kind of stuff. Like, you want you want it to be tilted a little bit because it's 1v3, but also you want to make sure if players are opting into this, they still have a fighting chance.
Yeah.
So.
And there's also the element of the non-regenerating health, which is a larger health pool, right? We've tuned it so it's more or less the same TTKs or time to kills as you have in Crucible, but players don't regenerate health, so you kind of have to take that into account when you are, when you're
There's some attrition
invading.
that can happen, like for the invader, where they can kind of wear people down if they're not paying attention.
We have our invader in their ready room. Let's talk about their Shank buddy here.
Yeah, here's our little Shank buddy. You want to speak to any of these abilities there?
Yeah, so we have 9 Renegade abilities here. Huge shout out to Cat Sayers and the rest of the tech design team for all their work on these. I mean, it looks like right now we got Nate picking the Imperium Behemoth and the Drop Pod, but yeah, there's a variety of ones to choose from. We got multiple. We have 3 different vehicles, and each of those vehicles have different upgrades with different functionality.
Yeah, and the Behemoth has like 3 or 4 versions of it too.
Yeah, there's like missiles and the audio and everything is just so good. Okay, so our invader has started. It looks like moving toward our targets and preparing to throw that coin. So you can see there they clicked that right stick, and that is going to ready the ability. They then throw the ability and just drop the drop pod to get some heavy ammo. Yeah.
Yep.
So need some heavy ammo to go into battle.
And Tom, before we were hopping in here before the stream, we were talking about like the size of the maps and how as an invader, like the first few runs, you might feel maybe a little lost because there's a lot of space to cover. But as you get more acquainted with Europa or Venus or Mars, you can find better paths to get directly to the combat, right?
Yeah, these are some of our bigger maps we built. They're more comparable to like our larger public spaces that we built in Destiny. And again, there's 6 of them, and like there's any number of arenas these PvE players can be in that you're going to be.
Oh my gosh! So our invader just wiped one out with the Thunder Crash and tried to hide and throw out the beacon for the
Walker.
The Walker, yeah, or the Imperium Behemoth as we call it. But then got needle stormed right before they could jump into it. That was incredible.
So that's one of those strategic moments of like, how do I put the chess pieces down? How do I approach this and all that?
That was interesting because they invalidated that beacon right before they could use it. So the timing was impeccable.
Oh man. Oh boy, what was I just talking about? The size of the maps. Yeah, in rewards, I wanted to ask really quick too. So as you're wagering, you add more and more. Is there like a cap? Is it double the amount of rewards, or do you have?
It goes up to triple. So each additional death mark you put down is will double or triple it.
Here we go.
Trying again.
Here we go.
Jumping in. We're already taking a lot of damage.
And the more
I don't know if he's gonna do it. Oh, he bailed. Oh, did they get him? Who got who?
Oh, we had so many conversations leading into this of like, hey, we need to make sure Nate hold back a little bit. And now I think one of our gameplay folks is just like, oh, Nate, you're mine.
Deleted.
Yeah.
No, going back to rewards, the better you do as an invader, the more rewards you're going to get. So each kill, each crest you put on the scoreboard equals more rewards. And then those get multiplied by your wager.
Cool. All right.
So Invader got defeated twice. The Invader has, you said, 3 lives?
3 lives. And you can see up at the top of the screen it says Invader present still. So they're
he's coming back for revenge. And it's immediately shut down.
Shut down with the 3.
I'm never gonna let Nate lose.
with the 3 coin wager too, or the 3 death mark wager.
He made a little bit there.
Good job.
So that's the I'm gonna put a little elbow in the ribs. The gambit you're taking. Ha 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 ha. So all right, we've gone through some Renegades content, rewards, all that kind of stuff. I would love to shift focus a little bit to our general rewards update. So in the portal, in a bunch of different activities, we're going to have some new weapons that we're offering. We also have an armor refresh for a bunch of our activities. And Bjorn, I'm going to put the spotlight on you. So starting with our Vanguard Ops sort of armor set, this is going to be earned through Solo Ops, Fireteam Ops, and our new Arena Ops activity, which is bringing back 6-player activities to our portal, which is really exciting. It's going to be kind of like your militaristic, hey, I'm a grunt. I'm getting in there. I'm fighting the dark forces. The weapons, Bjorndal, up front, we have a new pulse rifle. What do we got?
Yeah, it's a new arc rocket frame pulse rifle. So you have an energy slot option now to go with your mid-ranger grade. A lot of excellent perks on here. I know a lot of people love the arc perks on weapons, and now you'll have it on a rocket pulse.
And then we have a fusion rifle and a sidearm, correct? Cool. And then we do have some weapons that we're not showing in this stream, so stay tuned for launch. But next up, we're going to have our Pinnacle Ops. So in our previous season, it was a kind of streetwear samurai, and this armor theme is
Kendo.
And then we have 2 returning weapons that I know players have been pretty excited about seeing in the past. Some new perk combinations, but also a new heavy crossbow.
Yeah, so this is a new Void crossbow to kind of fill out our elements for the crossbow now. And I think this one can get box breathing, which is new. Should be pretty good for what crossbows do.
Oh boy. So box breathing, aim down sight, get extra damage, and then run up to the enemy. Box breathing doesn't apply to Serrated Edge, but you pull the bolt back out and do some more damage. That'll be a fun loot. Next up, Crucible. So this armor set is actually pretty fun. Over the years, we've done thematic sets tied to weapon foundries. So in the past, you've seen Hake, you've seen Tex Mechanica, and now Suros is up to bat for the Crucible, and Shax is going to be handing these out. We also have some weapons up to slate. Fusion rifle is a returning favorite, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, Riptide's coming back. We have a new aggressive Void hand cannon and a high impact machine gun.
Awesome. And then let's see, last but not least, Trials of Osiris. So another offering for our PvP audience. A few eagle-eyed players may have seen this armor set yesterday, a little sneak preview, totally planned. But yeah, we have a new armor set for each class, and as you can see, coming back with the glows, so as you get more wins on your card, you can unlock gold or red or blue. And then we have some new weapons that are coming as well.
Yeah, like this lightweight Void pulse rifle with your favorite model.
I admit, since the set came out on the moon, Eris, all the crufty bits on it, cleaning it up, having, sorry, what frame type did you say?
Lightweight.
Lightweight. Chef's kiss. I cannot wait. And then I believe also we have a preview of a hand cannon. Now, one of our folks on the gameplay team over here was whispering in my ear day by day, night by night, that these rolls are going to be a bit juiced, right?
Yes. Yeah, this is a pretty juiced hand cannon. It's got perks for both PvE, PvP. It's a Strand 140. You can get stuff like Lone Wolf Precision Instrument or Slice Explosive Payload. So you have a lot of options to pick for both PvE and PvP.
Awesome. Yeah, and across all of our activity types, we're trying to sprinkle out some things that players will get excited about. Not just, oh, I'm going to go into PvE to get the PvE gun. Like, there are some PvP roles out there that you can get from your Fireteam Ops. There are some PvE roles that you can get from Trials. And that doesn't even cover what we have coming in the dungeon, too. Before we do a little dungeon teaser, I do have a quick announcement as well as we're rolling through the list. We have an open access week that's coming on December 2nd. So for any folks out there that haven't played The Edge of Fate, that is actually going to be included in this open access week. So if your friends haven't played, if you haven't played, hop in, check out the beginning of our new saga, and earn some cool loot on the way. It's available to all players for that week, and it also includes some previous content as well, campaign and other. So let's see here. Dungeon. We want to talk about the dungeon. So Equilibrium. This is going to be our new dungeon. The race begins on December 13th at 10 a.m. So that's the second Saturday. We've already announced the time, but if you haven't penned it in, if you haven't gotten your fire team together, get ready for contest mode. For those that don't know what contest mode is, on day one, right at launch, this is going to be a very difficult difficulty tuned for competition. So if you want to go and try to be the world's first completion, this is your place to shine. And if you win world first, we have a cool trophy or some goodies for you. So contest mode is going to be available for the first 2 days, 48 hours of the dungeon availability. You can earn a really spicy emblem and some cool stuff as you go through that. And after world first has been declared, we will also have normal mode. So if you want to give a pass on some of that harder difficulty content, you just want to dive in and see what's on offer, that'll be there for you. So before we move on, we actually have a fun trailer to show. We can go ahead and roll it.
6. Everything you've shown me, I've made real. I've marshaled a new Imperium to snuff out the light. My violence is yours. You know what comes next. Give me strength.
Welcome back. So watching that trailer, I just realized we actually missed something with Invasions. We were talking about the Praxic blade and customization.
Mm-hmm.
There are different saber colors, correct?
Yeah, there's a wide variety of classic colors that I think players are going to have fun chasing down throughout the end game and maybe even Invasion.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, we showed it on the screen. Red, Invasions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, okay, moving right along, ending out our show, we're going to be covering what is going on through the end of the year. So during the launch window, we'll have some really cool things coming around. Vanguard orders are coming in week 2. And then after that, we're going to have the Dawning returning. So this is our winter celebration, our event, inviting Guardians to hop in, play some activities, get some fun rewards, and bake cookies for their favorite vendors in our tower. So Tom, just a really brief description for folks that may not know what the Dawning is.
Yeah, so the Dawning, you slay our enemies, you collect them as ingredients, and then you bake them into delicious treats you feed to your friends in the tower, like Zavala, and he's just got thousands of Galardoodles raining down upon him, and he gives you a gift in return, which could be, a spicy weapon roll, or you might maybe get some bright dust from some other pursuits and get this totally cool Winter Wolf armor.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Drifter is outside like, ooh, you're putting enemies into the cookies? But yeah.
It's totally a Drifter thing.
Right. The Winter Wolf set, this is going to be available for Bright Dust just by playing the game, or if you want to snag it from Eververse for silver, go right on ahead. But also on top of this cosmetic, we have new weapons that are going to be a part of the Dawning.
Yeah. So we have a burst linear fusion rifle, a breach grenade launcher, and a precision sidearm. Mm-hmm. And then also with this excellent new holofoil treatment. It's like covered in ice, and then as you fire, it'll slowly melt away the ice. That's cool.
Oh, perfect. All right. Oh, and sorry, I have one correction being whispered in my ear. Dungeon race starts at 9 a.m. Daylight savings time strikes again.
Gets us every time.
Every time. Oof. All right. So with that Dawning preview over, we are at the end of our show. Thank you so much to everybody for joining us today. As I said earlier, it has been a monumental effort. A ton of folks throughout the team have been crafting this experience, collaborating with Lucasfilm Games, and really just making something for you, our players. And we really, really hope you enjoy it. So thank you for coming. We're going to kick it back to our launch trailer here in case you missed it at the top. And again, if you missed the ViDoc launch trailer, check out our YouTube. And after this, stick around. We're going to be handing it off to one of our community members, Leopard Stealth, a friend to us for many ages, a guardian of all time. But also, I don't believe he existed before 2004, I've been told. So 04 or bust. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next time.
You are supposed to protect the people, not rule them. The time of guardians as shepherds of humanity is over.
No!
I've been waiting so long for this. Dredge and hope.
They've shown me a vision I can't shake. New Cabal, the Barrent Imperium, sprung up out of nowhere across the system. That doesn't just happen. It's the 9, and I'm putting together a crew to prove it. What do you say, weapon?
Welcome to the new Mars. Now the only law on Tharsis is the gun on your hip and the light in your hands. You'll do well here. I don't relish doing business with these leeches. But we need to find out what the Dredgen are after.
You crave justice. Why die for a criminal?
Why do you hate your own kind so much? It's time to take the fight to the Imperium.
one play left.